one game away from getting knocked out of the qualifiers altogether, and, well, Geek fam, they are one game away from proceeding to the semi-finals of the lower bracket.
Yeah, they just need to find this win here. They can get that done if they can play this momentum. Cox have to be careful. Breaks the smoke, but they don't have the net on ice, so can't really set up for the arrows. Should be a 2-for-2 trade coming out here in the end. Nothing too scary, but they could still commit.
Yeah, I mean, you have the nice setup for the arrow as well. Like, you just need vision on somebody. Geek fam seem to be very well aware that they're probably on the high ground of that dire jungle, so they'll just sit back by the tier 1 mid tower. Bleed will relocate, but they are under vision now. So Geek fam, they've got all the info they need, not to get themselves into a level 1 team fight if they don't want it. And I think it's very well advised not to get into a level 1 team fight against the draft of Bleed. Not going to be safe against the Marana and an Earthshaker of all things. I suppose you never know, they might think about it. Why the hell not?
I just thought of a very funny thing.
What's that, John?
No, it's Cox again. Cox swap.
The battle begins.
He does have swap.
Nice. Scam will move in with the battery assault, but he will not be able to take the bounty. And stop laughing at yourself, Jonathan. That was terrible. It was terrible.
I don't know why it's so funny to me. It's so, I don't know. I'm just a simple-minded person. We'll watch Cox block mid.
There's a bounty rune just sitting in the mid, like the mid river. Nobody took it.
No one needs that money. All right, Cox.
That's okay. Here we go. Here's the race of the century. Oh, Corden's got it. You can't outrun Michael Corden, Jonathan. You can't do it.
No, you can't. But you can outclick him. So Corden has to be a little bit careful, but he's just going to be denying the wave. That is something that the Shaker does excel at. It's going to be a little bit oppressive for Cox. So he's going to have to just watch himself. Misses out on 2 creeps already. This mid lane's maybe going to be a little bit slower until, say, level 4, level 5. I can see some action coming out here for Corden mainly. If Cox steps out of position, there is a lot of play the Shaker can do, whereas the Venge is a lot more passive this lane. But perhaps you get support rotations out. That's where Bleed really shines, if they can get some spacing out for DJ. We shall see down the line. Taking a peek up top as well. Allnet on the Bloodseeker and Scam on the Clockwork. This lane can start to tie in. Once you've got the Blood right plus the Cogs, you can look to just lock in Ice. There's not too much the Naga can do about that, really. I mean, the illusions can make it a little bit harder to land that damage perfectly from Scam. But the Bloodseeker is not going to be threatened here. Unless he severely oversteps his bounds and cops an arrow somehow with the net combo. Allnet's going to be free farming. Ice should be able to farm as well, but a Bloodseeker does have way earlier spikes in comparison here.
But he does. Well, bottom lane as well. Oh, the Wraith King having a very, very good time. I suppose you can kind of say the exact same thing, right? Like the off lane of Geek fam, chances are they're not going to be able to slow down the Jackie Wraith King too much. Narman obviously can be very, very annoying with these enchanted creeps, but that's about it. Should be just fine as they are going to move in. Force being targeted. Fatal Bonds out. And Force, he might just be dead. In fact, I think he is. Jackie's got him. I heckin' love Fatal Bonds.
It's a great spell. You've got the Summon Army coming out as well. Skellies plus the Imps coming out. That does manage to run down. This is a great start for Jackie. Like, this Wraith King with an early timing, this Wraith King with a fast Armlet Desolator can be a menace, and that's how Bleed should be looking to play. Like, play up-tempo, and then if you need to slow it down, you're still going to be feeling good with Wraith King plus Naga to scale, plus Shaker. So, they establish a good start. Force has to be a little bit cautious. There's only so much Narman can do. And of course, nowadays, you don't even tend to see too much of the impetus early on the support Ench. So he can't really do much to shove them away at this moment, at the very least.
Lotus Pool, they're going to fight over it just a bit at the top lane, but DJ does outclick Allnet. Allnet will have to leave with empty hands here as it's back to the creep wave. And bottom lane getting even more frustrating here for Geek fam. So the thing is, every time you commit that Fatal Bonds, like, you just can't underestimate how much damage just gets shared between everyone. And well, while they aren't in danger right now, it just makes you not feel very safe. As top lane, the Naga Siren almost going down. Ice is dropping quite low. Now DJ playing with fire, but has 3 leap charges, so we'll be okay. Meanwhile, Narman does find Jackie's courier down at bottom lane. Not sure exactly what was on it. I think his phase boots. may have been available on that courier. In fact, never mind. It was on the way out anyway, so there was no items available on it.
Yeah. Should be just fine dropping that. Overall, a little bit of a slower start. You are happy with the lane outcomes for Bleed. You're having almost free farm coming out for Jackie, and Cordon's holding his own on mid. So you are getting that build-up you'd want, and here's that will have to dictate that momentum for the side of Geek Fam. I think the one thing you will want is, again, stacks, and DJ's already just running around, grabs the bounty for his trouble, gets some scouting done. And this is something DJ does excel at. He's a very annoying forward to play into. So he buys space for the 1v1, which the Naga, again, should be happy enough to just play the farm game on. And you're not able to do much. You know, you're in the jungle, you can't stack, you can't do anything, and DJ just comes out on top.
Certainly does. Skim trying his best to harass DJ out here, though. Ice may have gone a bit far. Almost going to go for a bit of a chase, but I think he'll be okay. Meanwhile, mid lane, you see Corden getting extremely known out to Cox. Both mid laners finding plenty of farm, it seems, just on even grounds, though it certainly seems like Cox now has the advantage when it comes to harassment. It's Corden, you can see how afraid he is to get close. So he's found the farm he wanted, but he has somewhat lost control in the mid lane. He does seem like he's going to back off to the fountain.
It's a lot of space out for Cox. Has the level 3 Wave of Terror as the core, so very spammable spell. 35 mana for 115 damage is pretty damn good. And that debuff duration is almost 100% uptime even at level 3. So you can just start to really pressure in, work your farm advantage back your way, and scale up. I'm still curious to see what Cox item build will be. Should still be the Ags, but wouldn't mind the Dragonlance here for a little bit more reach and output. You can't underestimate Avenge's damage. And this is a universal hero type, so a few stats up and it hits like a truck.
6-minute power rune timing coming in. The supports have rotated, though it is mostly Geek Fam supports that are making the mission over. You've got DJ still trying to contest the top power rune. See if he gets lucky. Arrow's going to fly out. Power rune is actually going to spawn bottom. It will be a nice shield rune there for Cox. There'll be no contest towards. It's a bit unlucky for Bleed. DJ not able to deny this one off. Now Narman going to be just fine to keep himself in this mid lane, even with the low HP. He'll be just fine.
Yep. Going to be able to just do what he wants. They've always got the swap ready as well if Cox wants to play aggressive, but they back off from mid, all the sports. Go back to the side lanes. The solo lane for Force has been a little bit better now. Does have the Vanguard, so he's not under any kill threat solo from Jackie. And then start to scale up in this farm, although
Force could be in a spot of danger. This rotation's coming in from DJ now as Jackie's going to throw the stun out into the arrow, landing perfectly from DJ. Force is pretty tanky, but even with the Vanguard, he's not going to be tanky enough. Jackie will take him down, and meanwhile mid lane, Narman's gone to boot. Corden takes out the Ench, commits the Echo Slam for that, but gets away with a free kill, and Cox was unable to help out.
And he already used his swap earlier on, not able to really get a save off. 3-0 start for Bleed, and coming out of this game too, looking really strong in the laning phase. Geek Fam just a little bit shakier. You know, you are defaulting to more farm just for your Bloodseeker and your Doom. Your Venge as well, it's
Jackie
farm.
Oh, bottom lane, I thought they may have been able to make a jump, but level's a bit too low on the supports, and see, not able to have an opportunity at trying to get a cogs off on Jackie. Top lane, Alnit is also surrounded. Ice, if he can get the ensnare off, it's almost a guaranteed arrow. Alnit running. Ice, he has the song if he wants to commit that, but he wants to hold it for the disengage in case they need it. Alnit now getting ensnared, but there are creeps blocking for the arrow. So Alnit just getting to a stage where he has something to block the way, and no arrow will follow.
Bit of a missed opportunity. That should still provide an opening for the push up top.
Oh,
and you are
so
denying off the farm here.
He gets unlucky again. Corden tries for the power rune, doesn't get it.
And, you know, sometimes you have a lot of games like that.
Yeah.
They try to equalize the randomness of the runes, but it's still there. Now, with haste, they try to make a play, but Cox does cancel the TP, maybe gets stunned up from the vision provided here by Corden. He's not being able to relieve top. I think your concern for Geek Fam is just how slow this game will be for Force and Alnit. You will have to play the waiting game. You will have to surrender some tier 1 towers here. I don't know when the counterplay starts to come in for the side of Geek Fam. Maybe when you have an initiation tool for Force, perhaps once you have this Ags on Cox,
Corden.
That's where things can start to open up.
Can they find Corden? It seems like Force is on the right path to get the Doom off into the Magic Missile. Corden, he's got some help on the way. Dubu with the upheaval, going to try and save, but the swap is out. No deny attempt either. They'll just let Corden die in the end. Geek Fam, very strong rotation coming out from Force and Narman to secure that kill.
That's the kind of move you want. They do manage to Song here up top. Olnit.
Jackie's here. They're going to try for the Bloodseeker. This is not going to be the easiest kill, though, with a nice cogs out from Skem to block the way. And Olnit, he is still running. DJ with the arrow, trying but not going to land. Still they'll jump in with the Starstorm, and that's going to prove to be enough. Jackie will find another kill on the Wraith King. So they missed the arrow setup, but it won't matter. They'll make it work anyway.
Yeah, so it's a ton of commitment out from Bleed, but they want to be able to take this tower out. They get some good activity on Jackie. The armlet not too far off. There is some room for Geek Fam to play down bot at the very least. But again, you have a greedier draft in Geek Fam. You're going for the Midas and Force. You're going for that.
Jackie. Oh. He went through the twin gates. They were waiting. Skem was waiting. On the high ground of that twin gates, waiting for the Wraith King to come back. And well, Jackie, he's lacking some help right now. Roshan, he comes through, at least getting rid of one of them. So you got that. Narman had to be forced back. Still, they are running. Jackie, he's actually getting out of this for now. Force is still chasing him down. Narman on the chase as well, but Jackie is okay. Did Roshan just save Jackie? I mean, I don't want to say it did, but you didn't have any follow-up damage from Narman, sadly.
I think he did, actually. That Roche bash to push back on the inch, just lacking that enchant for the chase, did make a massive difference. So they managed to hold out. They don't lose anything. They will lose their objective anyway. And the game's still relatively equal. Slight lead coming out from Bleed, mainly onto Jackie. Cox and the Force are above and beyond Ice and Corden, but Olden is suffering as well. Again, the stall game has to come out here from Geek Fam. Bleed, they're kind of set to start playing early tempo. With Armlet and Jackie, he doesn't have too much to be scared of. Maybe just wait out this next reincarnation first. Corden, he's only about 700 gold away from that Blink Dagger on the Shaker. So he's going to have a lot of impact. Ice, he's going for the typical Manta build-up, I'm sure, here on the Naga. Everything's lining up. Geek Fam, their draft just is a lot greedier in the laning phase. And they just need to wait out a lot more. It's down to Bleed to play aggressively. They've got the Golem drop ready on Dubu. They can look for more objectives. They could easily line up for this mid if they wanted to, but Geek Fam are doing a great job of just invading this jungle area right now. So even if a mid push did come in, they have this really good flank from the backside. They have good vision over that area as well, though it does fade now. And it's stall. You know, it's basically stall. If Bleed played a stall game into this, it's not too unfavorable for Bleed. At the same time, you are giving Geek Fam a chance to actually have some play when these items do start to form up.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's still a very close game, 4-1 right now, but Bleed certainly feel like they're in control of this game, at least for the time being. Alnut is about to escalate. He's going to have the Maelstrom up soon on the Bloodseeker, as Jackie's going to run into Narman now in the Radiant Jungle, but doesn't have the kind of attack you need to kill off Narman with that level 1 untouchable available. Also, while that was happening, Corden now has officially got the blinker. So it might be around that time where Bleed makes the call to go for a big smoke up with Corden, see if they can find a good team fight for themselves. Even more of a positive note right now for Bleed is the fact that they've used Rupture onto Ice, but he got out, and now DJ getting swapped back, but leaps away. Skem's on the chase, but cannot reach DJ. He might have to wait for the next Rocket Flare and try to guess where DJ goes. Meanwhile, Narman does actually end up going down to Corden. Skem, he's got Rocket Flare in 1, but I don't believe it wouldn't be enough damage. It's only 80 damage at level 1. Onto the mid-tier 1 tower.
And Bleed just keep applying this pressure. You know, the Geek Fam couldn't manage to run up to try to stop Ice from TPing away. He didn't have mana for Song. Could have just killed him off for that Rupture, but and they jumped the gun. Allnet plays a little bit too early when his team's not ready. They miss out on the big kill. They miss on the smaller kill. Tier 1 mid falls off the back of that Narman pickoff as well. So the map is starting to shrink. They've got good forward vision here on Bleed. Ice is clearing out all the camps with his illusions. He is going for the Orchid instead of the full Manta first. So he is going to have a lot of presence out. And a lot of control to play with.
Naaman.
Geek Fam starts to get dispels.
Oh, he's going to cop it again here. Naaman. Untouchable's nice, but not quite against Corden. And Corden hits just like an absolute truck. Stop playing Ice, Ice, Ice. Again in trouble. Getting ruptured up. Going for the TP attempt, but the cogs. Scam. Just in the nick of time. I don't know, it's 0.1 second for Ice, Ice, Ice to get out of there. But he got him right on the edge with the cogs.
And that's what they need here on Geek Fam. A little bit of punishment coming out while they're playing almost like a 4 protect 1 on Bleed. They're running around as 4. They're giving Ice some space out. And 6-2. Despite all these kills, the lead for Bleed, again, marginal at best. But this is allowing them to play. They've got the map control on their side with the mid and top tier 1s gone. They do lose their mid tier 1 from a bit of a shove in from the creeps, but not the biggest loss now. And then for Geek Fam, you at least have your Maelstrom up on Allnet. Once his BKB is up, you start to feel better. The Ags as well for Cox, only 1 part way. And that should be the point where you start playing. Like this BKB timing on your Bloodseeker along with the Ags on Avenge should be when they can start to put some pressure back onto Bleed. But Bleed are not relenting. Onto the bot tier.
Oh, nice echo. Corden, he's in. He's got the Doom controlled up and forces down. Jump in on Jackie. Onto Naaman. The Ench. It's a slow process, but not with Corden. Corden makes the jump, and that's Naaman gone. I may have been seeing things, by the way, Jonathan. But did Corden just slam the ground?
No,
with the echo
a while ago.
He did slam the Doom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. You got me double thinking.
Oh, I have to get some glasses, I reckon, Jonathan. I'm going a bit blind. Yeah.
I don't know how you could use glasses when your monitors were literally right up to your face, Michael Phoenix. I think you have some deeper issues there. You know, depth perception doesn't quite work down under, or something like that.
You're probably right, John. Mid lane. They're looking at Cox. Jackie's here with the blink up. Cox, he could be in huge danger. He's got to swap target in Naaman, but there's just no time. Completely blown up. And Bleed, this game, they are playing a very clean game. It is smooth as butter from Bleed Esports.
That it is. They're just playing with their tempo. Jackie's being really active on this Raid King. Ice is just splitting lanes, farming up, trying to get into this Orchid. And again, this game doesn't necessarily simplify all that well for Geek Fam as time goes on. They do have scaling, but you're dealing with Raid King plus a Naga. You're dealing with 2 pretty much hard carries here. And a Shaker who's going to go for the Ags, who's going to have this insane right click. For Geek Fam, I don't know. Like, at some point, you've got to start playing. You've got to play off the back of Uln's BKB when that's up. Cox needs his Ags. But even the Venge Ags at this point, it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough just yet. It's level 1 swap. You don't have your Shard. You don't have the most items to boost your right click yet. So, you know, Venge Ags this early on, it's nice. It's not going to be enough to really change how this game is played so far. And Bleed, 4K lead up now. Jackie, Desolator not too far off. I mean, I think Geek Fam, they're going to need forced to have a blink. Like, just have a blink initiation on the Doom to start these fights to help you chase down with a Clockwork. Maybe start thinking about this really straightforward combo, but also kind of awkward combination of Rupture Swap. Could be also another way for you to kind of open up these fights for yourselves, but I don't know, like your solution for Naga down the line is going to be the full Mjolnir. Maybe an Ags out for Ulnet, but again, as of now, that's going to take so much more time to farm up to those points.
Yeah. And here's Roshan. Double damage on Corden, that's certainly going to help their cause quite a bit. And Roshan should not be too long of a process. Well, you just give the Aegis to Corden here? Like, Jackie just doesn't... You might not need the 3 lives this early on. We'll see what they want. I think just give it to Corden. Much better option here in the Shaker. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the slot open. Would have been very funny if Jackie just picked it up, though. Not good, but very, very funny.
Yeah.
So you can just run forward like a complete fool if you wanted to and just be perfectly fine. 9-2. And I don't know how many times I can keep talking about these times from Geek Fam. We'll just have to wait for them to come out. For Bleed, I mean, it's getting spicy. Ags for Corden almost done. You at least have your Ags for Geek Fam on Cox. But again, Venge Ags at this point, level 1 swap, it's not really that cool. It doesn't really do you too much yet. And top is just going to be under siege.
I reckon there should be like a cosmetic that comes out, like an animation when you do get the Ags on Shaker. Like it's just number 23 on his totem or something. Which is Michael Jordan's number, by the way, in case you're wondering, by the way, John, where the joke is. It'd be amazing. You just get Ags up, that's the animation. Congratulations.
It's not an animation.
Like a cosmetic.
It's a texture change. Yeah.
Right, a texture. All right, John. A graphic designer here trying to educate me on the words to use. My goodness, you know what I meant.
Oh, I almost didn't know what you meant, Mike, but thank you. I thought you meant you want the Shaker to animate into number 23.
Why would I want
just
that?
A jumping, you know, just a literal, you know, the missing texture thing that you see in Dota 2 sometimes, the error. Just have him be that, but it's 23. Savage would never stop playing Shaker at that point.
That's true. 3-man smoke up, Blade Esports. They're having a laugh here in the Radiant jungle. They know they're in the triangle, so Geek Fam, they are indeed hanging around that the dire triangle for now. Pings out towards Olned, who's farming the right side of the map, that ancient camp by the Tormentor. But they're going back towards the triangle where Skem may have just revealed himself with that rocket flare. Meanwhile, Ice actually found the mid-Venge as well, and staring him up, allowing or making sure that they cannot follow up here against Jackie. So they do jump Skem, and Skem is down. Jackie wants more. A nice fish shot. Corden! He got 2 of them, and Cox, he'll try to go for the swap out, but he's still gonna die. Even the Remnant being caught. No messing around from Bleed. They will take it out. Onto the mid T2 tower they go. In fact, Ice with the song. Force, how are you gonna get yourself out of this one? In fact, he might just walk out. Ice has no ensnare up. He goes for the Orchid. In comes Jackie now with the stun out. There is a Crimson Guard on Force to slow things down as Olned's going to move in. So will Skem onto the Naga. Jackie now ruptured up, has the reincarnation, so he should be fine for 1 life. In fact, he's standing his ground on the side. Ice though, going to go down the Naga Siren. Here comes DJ looking for an arrow on Skem, but won't find it. It's a 4v5 now, but here comes Corden. Corden's onto Narman, and Narman will get blown up. A 1-for-1. Cox now jumping in, but Cox, I mean, he's got 1 life of Jackie, but he's going to lose his own life. Hoping to play with the Remnant, it seems. There's your Remnant out, but they'll focus it down. In fact, Corden, he's after Skem. Skem is down. Corden, just fighting everyone. Cox, trying to get the Remnant out of there, but it's not looking good for him. Jackie will take care of it. It looked like a great start to the fight. Sadly, though, they just keep going, and well, you just can't underestimate the damage that Corden and Jackie can do right now. It is just insane.
Is a massive amount of output, and they don't have a straightforward way of just stopping that right now. They tried to focus down Jackie as well, like Olned using the Rupture on the Wraith King. It's not a great target, just because Wraith King can stand and fight up against the Bloodseeker quite nicely. Perhaps once you get your Shard up with the Blood Rage, giving some lifesteal, it starts to feel better for the Bloodseeker and trying to force that. For now, even the BKB is just not really enough to do much there. And you never found a good Doom target for Foresider. It's been pretty cautious with that usage. So, yeah, you kind of need to start these fights on much better terms for the side of Geek Fam, just a little bit forced. And you've got the full Manta up for Ice now, along with the Orchid going for the Heart next. Very typical Naga build-up. 8k lead standing for Bleed, 14-3. And Geek Fam, I mean, it's just back to stalling. It's back to waiting. Get that Blink out for Force. Get that Mjolnir into Shard up and running for Olned. And just kind of hope for the best.
Things are looking rather tough. Like, you look back at Cox on the Venge. He's basically a position 4 Venge at the moment, just with the Ags up. Nothing really different between a position 4 and him at the moment. Here's the smoke up. Running towards Jackie down at the bottom lane. Jackie is 25 seconds away from having reincarnate, so it'd be a huge kill to go for. Jackie, maybe realizing something is wrong, is starting to run south. His team is by the twin gates at the top side, and yeah, he realizes he's out of here. Good game sense from Jackie to leave the area. Keep in mind, he was under vision as well from that observer ward on the high ground, but They won't be able to catch him now.
Yeah. They can just keep applying pressure, work up top, maybe force a response onto the tier 3, invade the jungle, and switch out onto the tier 2 mid. Geek Fam trying to use the space as much as possible. Just farming forward here. They are just so close to that blink on force. But even then, like, who do you really doom up here?
They've got the ward vision, though, on the cliff. They want to take the fight while they've got the vision, it seems. Nothing happening yet. Bleed are doing a very good job of just kiting these fights out. Not allowing the advantageous opening that the Geek Fam are looking for. Now the smoke up into the Moonlight Shadow, but again, the vision is on the high ground for the Dire, so they've got the advantage here, but the jump is in. Jackie, he'll try for Skemp, but now Jackie being stunned up. A huge golem, and now the Echo Corden. Corden just annihilates them. Oh boy, this team fight's over. Wasn't even close. Narman the only one to get out. Golem, Fatal Bonds plus an Echo Slam. That'll create a full team wipe, and that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, just onto the high ground. Nothing to stop them. BKB still ready to go on Jackie. Geek Fam just have no play. 19-3. 3 more kills for Bleed to have the happy number coming up on the screen. The reverse happy number. And I just don't know how Geek Fam takes this. At the very least, with Golem and Slam down, they could try. A good usage of Doom could be big, but still no blink on force.
Hawkshot in. Skem is going to try to get something started, though. Skem just gets deleted, and now Cox gets baited. Unfortunate for Cox. Trying to follow his teammate in. He will die immediately, though a song is going to come out from Ice, but Jackie wants to keep going. Or does he? Impetus shots are hurting, but he wants to go back in onto the Bloodseeker, perhaps. Olin forced to BKB up just to avoid the Wraithfire blast. That'll be it. I mean, if you're Bleed Esports, you could just go back in. You know the BKB's down. You still have Reincarnation. Without the BKB on Oldit, he just can't fight. He's a sitting duck. Jump in, Fisher. The arrow will not land on Narman. And in fact, Bleed, even with the BKB down, they're not going to risk it. They play it safe.
I respect some of that counter fight from Geek Fam. I don't know, like, Geek Fam's big issue is just the contribution of the Venge. It's not there. He's going for the shard as well. He's going to need a lot of stat items to start really feeling like a huge damage dealer in the middle of these fights, and that's, again, so much farm necessary for that. You have Narman pretty much working to be a core as well with a Hurricane Pike pickup. I mean, if you were going to go this route, right, like, surely you'd want more farm on your Enchantress at this point. Like, it is the one that's kind of trying to carry through for you, but you're not finding that split farm. You've got the blink up on force, blink Doom's available. The shard's ready on Allnet, so he can stand up against the Raid King at the very least. But this is time for reset. You know, Bleed, when they will take this fight again, they'll have Slam, they'll have the Chaotic Offering. They have the full heart up and running on Ice Ice Ice. They're going for the Roche. And Geek Fam can't contest. Their lane's not repaired. They don't have forward vision. Just going to be a freebie for Bleed into the high ground again. They'll try to smoke, but it's going down way too fast.
Yeah, there's no way you get there in time. Like, Skem can scout out with the Rocket Flare right now, but Roshan's already less than half HP, so... Well, Geek Fam, they may still try to force a fight. Try to go for the surprise initiation. It's very challenging when you're up against 2 lives on Jackie, 2 lives now on Corden. Though they are sticking around, placing some vision down. In comes the side of Bleed, breaking the smoke on Skem, who already gets caught out, and Skem just gets deleted here by Jackie and Corden. Onto Cox they go. Cox. Oh, there's not much he can do as the mid-bench. He'll lose his first life and the second one immediately, it seems, as Jackie will just chase it down. No messing around. Meanwhile, Corden, still looking for more. Will not be able to get a nice stun with the Fisher, but they've got 2 targets down. I don't even know if you can force buybacks, to be fair, because the respawn timers are so low at the moment for Geek Fam. Like, you've only got 20 seconds for your Venge to be back up, but that is 20 seconds where Bleed have a free high ground.
Yeah. Just take another set of racks. And the Crimson Guard trying to slow it down a little bit, but you don't have that much strength to really block off here on force. So it will just fall. That's 2 racks is up for the side of Bleed. Geek Fam, they look so lost. Like, they have no openings. They don't know what they're doing. It almost feels like Cox has very little impact.
And they get ice.
Even with his early Ags.
They're going to try for ice. They've got vision. They jump in with a hook shot. Rupture out as well. Ice, he has the song. He'll use that. But Olnett got the BKB off. Ice, trying for the TP, makes it out. Oh, boy.
Invisibility.
What do you do? Obviously, Olnett, he doesn't have a basher yet. It's been a very tough game for Geek Fam. Not really his fault. And now Bleed, they are slowly but surely moving in towards that dire triangle. But they won't make the jump in. Obviously, they know that Geek Fam will have quite a bit of vision around this area. They'll go through the bottom lane instead. Lines have been drawn out. And here's your 5-man smoke from Geek Fam. See if they can find themselves a pick-off before the fight truly begins. Closest target to them is going to be Ice on the Naga Siren. See, no song available. He did just use it. He's a tanky boy, though, with the heart up. You've got to get through 3k worth of HP on this Naga. Perhaps they could find Dubu, but he's on the high ground. Moonlight Shadow now being committed by Bleed. Oh, Geek Fam trying to move in. They'll see DJ de-warding on the cliff, so there goes your ward. They'll hang around their other ward for now. Skem moving in. Cops and Arrow. Now the Fisher. Corden. No hesitation. Skem, he'll just cop 2 hits and he dies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is just
Cox. You're just destroyed by Corden. He still has the remnant at least. But, well, I say that, not too much longer it seems, though he does eat the cheese up, and Cox, he's going to continue trying to go as Jackie. Well, he's going to lose his first life. The problem is this Earthshaker just jumping right in, just getting it done. He does get doomed up, so there is no Echo Slam to be committed, but it doesn't matter. Megas are up. Bleed have played an extremely clean game, and GG's call.
Yeah, that is a interesting experiment with the draft from Geek Fam. I mean, understandably, Venge mid, again, it's something that has popped out in other regions.